Well, you've just heard from Grant Williams. What a fantastic presentation, talking a little bit about inflation, but also talking about the reasons that he does have gold as part of protecting his wealth. And he's, you all heard that he bought it back when it was $333, but he doesn't want to sell it. He doesn't look at the price. Now, I've had a lot of people asking me about the basics of investing in gold. And I'm delighted that Janie Simpson, who's the Managing Director of ABC Bullion, who are also our sponsors for today. So big virtual round of applause. And thank you, Janie, for sponsoring today. But it is all about educating people. And both you and I do have a passion for helping people to understand precious metals, it's not really investing, about why you should own precious metals. So what I've asked Janie to do is to go right back to basics. So if you think you know everything about investing in gold or purchasing gold and silver, whatever, then go and have a cup of tea. But I know that there's a lot of people out there at the moment that really don't know where to get started. And as I say, the confused mind doesn't do anything. It just sits there and goes, yeah, it's too hard. Janie is going to show you it's not hard at all. Janie, welcome to the Virtual Gold Conference, and thank you again for your sponsorship of today's conference.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Kerry. It always is a pleasure. And on behalf of all of Bullion, it's delightful to be here and talking to your audience as well.
Well, we've got a lot of people, and they're from all around the globe. I had a look just before coming on, and we've got people from, I think it's about 35 different countries. So pretty amazing. Yeah. So let's get stuck in. I love this title, The ABCs of Investing in Gold. So I'll let you do your presentation, then we'll have a few minutes to chat at the end.
Yeah, thanks, Kerry. Well, you and I have been speaking about for years how people are not educated, or even if they are educated, they just don't know how or where to start in investing in precious metals, gold and silver. And, we have a ABC Platinum range actually as well, which is another topic, that we won't talk about that particularly today. But the same kind of thing is investing in physical precious metals. In fact, there's a whole lot of people out there that think investing in gold is investing in gold equities, whereas it's very, very different. And that's a whole nother topic as well. But investing in precious metals, a lot of people think, okay, I'm going to invest in gold and silver. But where do I start? Like, what do I buy? Yeah. How do I do it? Where do I put it? How do I pay for it? And it's all too confusing for them. And I get that almost every day at ABC Bullion. So I think one thing that really confuses me is why people do think it is so complicated, or they have so many questions, because it actually is super easy. The whole process is super easy. So that's what I think you've asked me to come here today and explain in this segment. So hopefully I'll have some insightful tips as to the process of investing in gold. So you want me to just proceed?
Yeah. Yep.
Right. Okay. Here we go. Well, for starters, a lot of people think, why gold? Like, why? Why on earth would I buy a lump of yellow metal or white metal for silver, if we're talking about silver as well? And there's a lot of good reasons why gold. But what really interests me is a lot of people that are coming through my doors at ABC Bullion or via email. When I say my doors, we do 65% of our business online now. So when I'm indoors, it's online as well. The questions we get is a lot of people hold gold for completely diverse reasons. So what gold might mean for you in your investment portfolio might be completely different from the person who comes in a few hours or a few minutes later. So I've just highlighted a few of the main reasons why people come in and they choose gold as part of their investment portfolio. And one really, really good one is diversification. So gold is very unique in its properties and what it offers a investment portfolio. It works inversely to a lot of other asset classes. So for that reason alone, especially in these turbulent times that we've been experiencing over the last 24 months, and in the last couple of, in economic times altogether, the diversification of gold and silver in your investment portfolio is really, really important. Another reason is it acts as an insurance in times of economic uncertainty. And I think, as I said, in these last 24 months, or especially since COVID hit March last year, people are really scared about what's happening in all different economies. There's a lot of uncertainty, whether it be political, economic. There's a lot of uncertainty globally. So gold is one of those assets where you feel safe when you own it. So that's a really important reason too. Another really important reason is low interest rate environments. Gold outperforms as an asset class. So people often come to me and say, I'm not getting any money in my term deposit. Why would I do it? When I pay the fees, or I'm not getting any return. What do I do? What do I do with my money? So in times like this, gold can be seen as outperforming interest-bearing assets. So that's a really important factor. They're the three main factors that people are coming to me and saying that's why they want to invest. Okay. So another question that everyone asks when they figure out the why gold and why gold for them, how it suits them in their portfolio, is like, what do I buy? So there's a few questions that we challenge people to ask themselves so they can answer that question and buy what suits their situation. Is do you want to benefit from the price of gold going up and down? And of course, the answer is yes. Like, everybody wants to buy an asset that appreciates in value. But I've had a few people who see who buy gold for different reasons, of course, and they see buying gold as appreciating in really hardly hit times. So there's a few people who buy it to diversify their portfolio who actually don't want it to appreciate, because when it appreciates, it will mean that they would have hit absolute uncertain economic times. But then most of the people coming through the door now are buying it because they want to have that diversification, and they can see the price going up because times are uncertain, and that's the way they see the gold price heading. Another question to ask yourselves is, do you want to slowly build your position in precious metals over time? So a lot of people see that they can pull a bit of their savings away over time, where periodically, every month, every week, and they can like dollar cost average going into metals. Or they might be selling a house or property, any asset that they have. They're coming into some money and want to see, they want to put it into gold, but they think, should I put it all in at once? Should I put it in on a monthly basis, or how should I do it? So that's a very important question. And that question, has to be considered with other financial, that own individual person's financial situation. And then we have to ask ourselves, do you want to actually take the physical metal with you? Do you want to own the physical metal, or do you want ABC Bullion or the bullion dealer that you're buying from to manage that metal for you? And there are different ways of doing that as well. So that's a really important question too. So they're the three main questions we get asked when someone's considering what to buy.
Yeah.
Okay. So where on earth do you start? And
that's the question. Where do
I start? And you'll go on to some people's bullion sites and you'll see 1,000 different products.
Exactly.
Where on earth do you start? Well, it actually is quite simple, and it's not confusing at all. So a lot of our clients, and I'll talk about our clients because, they're the people who I'm talking to on a daily basis. So a lot of people like to go into pooled allocated. And I'll tell you why. It's really super easy. So they don't pay storage fees. It's pooled allocated gold, and they just go in and they buy it at the gold price or the silver price if they're buying gold or silver. And it's just super easy. They get quarterly statements. It's highly liquid. That you can do all the transactions online on our platform, and it's just super easy. I personally have my investment portfolio, my gold and silver, in pooled allocated for that flexibility. So we also have another product called a gold saver account, which I love this product as well, and I've got my 3 kids into this product. Because it's just an entry-level product to start investing in precious metals. But what it means is you still get the statements. You can invest by periodic deposits, direct debits from your bank. You can dollar cost average in, and you can set how much money per week, per month, per year you want to invest, and it just accumulates. But it's highly liquid as well. You can do it. You can transact online. You can buy and sell online as well. So it's super, super easy. But it's also a really good product for if you've got a godchild, a grandchild, a niece, a nephew. And I really started asking our relatives just to put a small amount into my kids instead of buying them all those plastic toys, for Christmas and birthdays that they don't really need or want any, well, they want them, but I don't want to have them in my house.
Janie, a couple of questions there. With the Gold Saver account, is there a minimum to get started?
It's $50. Yeah, okay, it's $50 in $50 increments.
So $50 increments. And if I, for example, if I want to open up a Gold Saver account in my name, easy peasy. Yeah. If I want to open it up in my godchild's name, how would that work? So, John Smith is my godchild. It's not me, but I want to put money in for him. How would that work?
If it's a minor, you have to have an adult or someone above the age of, I think it's 16, who it might be 18. So I'm sorry, I'm not operational in the admin of that. So you have to.
It's okay, Janie, because all my godchildren are older than 18. So if they're,
I've got my kids who are below 18 in them, but I am the overriding account holder of their account. So I have their account in trust. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And then, of course, if you want to hold physical metal, this is the cast bars, the minted tablets and the coins, which is highly popular. There are different ways and different products that you can purchase to cover off these categories. So I'll get into that. So that there again, we seem to be talking in threes, but they're the 3 main questions, or offerings that most people go into for different reasons. Okay, so we mentioned about the pooled allocated product, which I mentioned was a super easy product. So one of the reasons it's really appealing to our clients is because the precious metals markets are really fast moving. And we have an online platform which is available 24/7 to buy and sell your pooled allocated products, or any metal that people hold in storage online with ABC Bullion. You can trade 24/7 on our online platform. So this is really, this product is really appealing because, one, it's low cost. Well, but when I say low cost, it's low premium to the spot price, to the spot market price. So you can go in and enter, exit out of this really, really quickly, just online, or in our office or over the phone. So I think I've covered off its fast and efficient option. That most clients seem to love that product for that reason. And of course, really importantly as well, and this is one thing that I haven't mentioned yet, but it can be allocated into physical at any time. So we have a lot of clients who, for instance, mainly in Gold Saver, who will save up to an ounce of gold and then get it physically transferred into a 1 ounce product, or a different denomination and just pay the borrowing fee when they convert it to physical. So a lot of people do that with pooled allocated too. They wait until they get a certain amount and then they'll convert it physically and we'll store it, or they'll send it to our safety deposit box sister company, Custodian Vaults, or whatever they want to do with it. So it's very, very convenient for that.
Is there a cost associated with the pool allocated? So say, for example, I'll buy a kilo of gold, pool allocated. What's it going to cost me?
So you just pay a small premium over spot. So it's I think it's about $7 Australian per ounce over spot.
Right.
And so it's a very
But it's a one-off. It's a one-off. It's not an annual.
Yeah, correct. No storage fees. You get storage statements every quarter confirming what you do have in storage. And we get statutory audited as well once a year. And also we have our external auditors, William Buck, auditing that position on a biannual basis as well. Okay. So again, I mentioned our Gold Saver product before, which I said was really is more of an entry level product. So for smaller investors, so you can put a minimum of $50 in per time every time you want to make a direct deposit. So it gives our clients the ability to build a position in gold and silver over time. We've got a lot of people who do just put in $50 every month or every week, and you can just see it just builds and builds and builds and builds, and it's just a forced saving. So it's a really super popular product. So again, and I mentioned before, you can convert that physically into gold and silver physically when you reach that the denomination you'd like to withdraw. It's a way of saving. So instead of putting your money in the bank where you're earning no interest, you can put it into precious metals. And as I said before, it's really, really popular with grandparents and parents for that reason, just for helping their kids save, and get interested. It also teaches kids, like, they can look up their account online. They can see how their metal account is accumulating, and they can see the values, the metal accumulates over time, and the value changes as the markets change in price. So it's a good education for kids to learn the markets as well. Okay, so, and we've just got a little chart at the back, at the bottom, that just shows the compounding returns per annum. Apologies, the chart is only December 2019, so it's a little bit out of date. But you can clearly see that the compounding interest rates of the precious metals, we've got gold, silver, and platinum there in Australian dollars, have really outperformed the cash rate, over the last, really looking back,
40 years.
Yeah, 40 years. Yeah, it's actually an astounding chart. But that's a really good reason why people should accumulate precious metals in their investment portfolio as well. So then, this is where people kind of.
This is the question I get asked all the time, Janie. So this is a good one.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna answer it what I do myself. I do go bang for the buck. I go for the largest cast bar that I can buy. I don't personally really want the pretty minted bars that you pay the premium on for the for the mintage. And I know some of them are absolutely beautiful, like they've got designs and, they're magnificent. But I know a lot of people do like them, and I know a lot of people like them for gifts as well. And we have a lot of clients who come in here for cultural reasons. They're Chinese, they're Indians, they're giving New Year's presents, the equivalent of their Christmas presents, Diwali, Chinese New Year, whatever their festival is that they're celebrating. So they do like the pretty coins and the minted bars. But for me, I just like the cast bars. I want to get as cheap or as close to that spot price as I possibly can. So I'll go for the largest cast bar I possibly can get for the money that I want to invest.
So the larger the bar, the more bang for your buck. In other words, you're not being charged as much as if you were going to buy, say, a 1 ounce gold coin, or a whatever. But
yeah, correct. Generally speaking, the prettier the product, the more you'll pay for the premium you'll pay for it, because the more fabrication has been, it's taken longer to fabricate like a pretty bar or a coin than the cast bars.
okay.
So, but there are disadvantages over that. Because the larger bar you buy, then you're locked into that bar. Say for instance, you want to buy a 10 ounce bar, and it's $25,000, just for argument's sake, just to round it up to a figure. But then I only need $5,000. Well, I'm locked into, that size bar. So that way it's a little bit inflexible. So we have people coming in and save in their self-managed super fund. They want to invest $100,000. They might buy a half-kilo bar and a few little smaller ones for that reason, so they can cash in the smaller ones if they don't need to cash in the larger one. So that works as well. So all these things have to be considered. But for me personally, I just like to buy the larger one for the money that I'm investing, because I don't want to pay a premium, because when you go to sell the metal back, you don't get a premium back for those pretty bars. You get the same price.
Right.
So, but minted bars are lovely. They really are. They're beautifully, they're packaged in protective cases. So there might be a reason why people want to do that. The coins are very attractive too. I mean, everyone's seen the coins, that you can get some beautiful coins. I actually did buy a couple of the Royal Australian Mint coat of arms coins that just came out. They were absolutely beautiful, and they sold out really quickly. But they had the Australian coat of arms on them. So I actually did fall for that and pay the high premium for them. But a lot of coins are also given for gift giving, and those cultural Christmases and things like that. So we do sell a lot of all the products across the board for different reasons. But I would say the most common bars that we sell are the kilo gold bars, the kilo silver bars, and the 1 ounce gold bars, cast bars. They're the products that we sell in volume.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So is bigger really better? This is when I just say, you've got to consider like what you're going to do with the gold, how long you want to hang on for it. Do you want it divisible? Because if you buy those big kilo bars, they're not divisible. What are your goals for investing? The bigger the bars, the less flexibility you have. And as I said before, it's tempting to buy a kilo bar. I mean, they're amazing. They're these beautiful, big, heavy gold bars, but, you can't break that up. So there's different ways, if you want to buy the gold physically, that you should consider for your own, or just really have a think about what you're going to do, and don't lock yourself into something where you or some products where you can't be flexible. Okay, then people say, well, I bought the metal, great, thank you. Now what do I do with it? So I can tell you something, I would not be keeping my metal at home.
No.
I really wouldn't. And I don't know very many people who do actually. Well, so I believe that it's really hard to insure gold at home. I believe insurance companies treat it like cash anyway, so you can't insure it. So we have a number of different products, and I believe that other bullion dealers, that I've looked at and I've seen and I've spoken to, they all have the same thing, where you can store the gold with the bullion company and pay an insurance storage fee for that, and they store it. Our insurance covers replacement for the gold at its replacement value, so it's really important that you make sure that where you store your gold, it's not insured for the value where you purchased it, because obviously when the price goes up, you want to get the replacement value. So that's really important when considering it. We have a premium storage option where you get the bar numbers. So, and on your storage certificate, you get the bar numbers. So obviously that's only on the bars that have the bar numbers. So for the ABC bars, it's the kilo bars and the 100 gram bars for gold. And then silver, we have it on the kilo bars. Then we have the secure allocated bars where you don't get the bar numbers, but it's insured and stored for you, and you get their storage certificates as well. And then we have the pooled allocated that we spoke to before, where there's no storage fees, but it's the most flexible storage product. But then if you want to take the gold with you, you've got to consider, do I have somewhere safe to put it? So safety deposit box, some companies, and there are a few around. We've got a sister company called Custodian Vaults, which is it's in high demand. Like it's a high secure vault. So that's a good option as well if you want to take it. But you then have the metal in your safety deposit box, so you control the access to it. So if you did want to sell it, you have to go and get it out of your safety deposit box. And we actually do, we call them metal transfers and deals at buyback. We can facilitate buybacks at the safety deposit box, but you actually, being the client, have to go and physically get it. Whereas if the metal is stored with us, we can facilitate the trade just online, or you don't actually have to come in. So there's a lot of things, a lot of decisions that that you have to make when considering, one, why gold, two, what product, what suits your financial situation, and then what do I do with it after I bought it. But all those decisions, once you've made it, once you've made them, are really quite simple decisions. And I actually feel very safe having gold and silver in my investment portfolio. And don't get me wrong, I'm like everybody else. I have about between 10 and 20% in. I'm not 100% in with investments, but it's something that I just want to keep accumulating for my financial future and my kids. And it's been, if you look at me personally, my financial portfolio over the last couple of years, it's been a roller coaster. But I'm really happy that I've had precious metals in it.
Yeah, and it's interesting, isn't it? Because I think you've explained it quite well there. Sorry, is that the last slide?
I think
hang on.
There's my disclaimer.
There we go.
Shouldn't that have come up at the beginning?
Probably. But, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I think Janie's explained it very well. But I've got a couple of things to ask you. The difference between pool allocated, pool unallocated? It's
the same thing. It is unallocated or pooled allocated. So yeah. So basically, what it is, it's metal that isn't. It's a share of a pool of metal.
Yeah. So it's not specific to you. So there's a bunch of metal in there. You're going to buy some of that metal, but it doesn't have a certificate. Like, say, for example, a kilo bar of gold. I'm saying I want to buy a pool allocated a kilo bar. I'm not going to have a specific kilo bar that's allocated to me.
Correct. And if you do want to come out and pull it out in an allocated form, you can come and do that. And you just pay the barring fee. So it's a really flexible way of getting into precious metals.
Okay. When I buy my precious metals, obviously I'm buying it from yourself or another company. There's a bit of a premium on what we call the spot price, the market price. And there's also the same when you go to sell it, if it's either back to you or somebody else. Explain how that works, if you would.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think anyone who's been overseas or bought foreign currency will understand that there's always, when you go and buy it, there's a difference between the buy and the sell, or the bid and the offer. It's the same, with any commodity or wherever you go. So that spread will differ depending on what you're buying. So as I said before, if you're going to buy a coin and a small coin, say you're buying a 1/2 ounce coin or a 1/10 of an ounce coin, that's going to have quite a high premium on it because it's manufactured. But as I said before, when you go to sell it back, you get it's like a discount to the spot price. So there's a bigger difference. So if you buy that cast bar, which is a lower premium above the spot price, you're going to get, and if you buy and sell at the same time, the difference between the buy and the sell spread will be a lot closer. So you do have to be careful about the premiums that you pay. You do have. I would tell people who are.
We're running out of time, Janie. So let's.
Okay. Well, I would tell people who to really consider that when they go in and look at what premiums they're paying over the spot price. Because I would tell.
Okay.
People.
Just tell everybody very quickly what's your website? How can they find you? And what's the best way?
Okay, so we are at www.abcbullion.com.au. We have offices in Sydney, Melbourne, Perth and Brisbane. So any investor, email us or call us or drop in and we can show you the products in our showroom. We'll be happy to do that.
Janie Simpson, Managing Director of ABC Bullion, thank you so much for all your support and for joining us at the Virtual Gold Conference today.
Thanks, Kerry.
Oh, and the last thing, even though we're out of time, you will be in the Zoom networking room at the end of today. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have questions for Janie, make sure you join us in the Zoom networking room at the end of today from 5 to 6 p.m. Janie will be there. She can answer any of your questions. And by the way, my final thing is I tried to exchange some paper money the other day. Guess what? They don't take it anymore. If I had physical gold, I could go and see Janie. I'll see you soon. Thanks, Janie.
Bye.
ABC Bullion, the Australian bullion company. Trading since 1972, ABC Bullion is Australia's largest independent bullion dealer and precious metals depository. Fully insured and verified by independent audit. ABC Bullion offers a range of proprietary investment products and storage solutions and Australia's first gold and silver accumulation plan. ABC Bullion.